Welcome, Archi-Types. Each week I'll be releasing a short tip to help you bolster your graphic design skill set. This week we're going to look at using pattern swatches in Illustrator to give your floor plans a little bit more depth and texture. So you can see I have a coloured in floor plan here. The interior designer that designed and drew this up had added in texture for the reception and breakout floor areas and also the boardroom floor areas. So it's fairly obvious to the client that this will be tile through here and then carpet in the boardroom. The rest of the workspace, however, doesn't have any texture on it, which just makes that area look a little bit flat in comparison. To fix this up, we're going to use Illustrator's built-in pattern swatches to give a little bit of oomph to our plan. I've already drawn these shapes out and coloured them in on the floor colour layer over here. So first up, we're going to copy them to the floor texture layer so we can add some texture to them. So I'm just going to hold down Shift and click on these three shapes to select them. And then I'm going to click Command C. And you can see once they've been selected, they're all outlined in blue, which corresponds to the blue of the floor color layer. So we're just going to copy them now by clicking Command C. And then I'm going to click the floor texture layer and click Command Shift V, which will paste them in exactly the same place. And you can see they're now outlined on green, which shows us that they are on the floor texture layer. And now in my swatches panel, what we need today is Illustrator's built-in pattern swatches. And you can access these by clicking on this little library book icon in the bottom left of the panel, going to Patterns, going to Basic Graphics and Basic Graphic Textures. And that will open up. And you can see we have lots of different options in here. I'm just going to select the main workspace area to start with. And I want something that's a little bit carpety looking for this. So I'm going to go with the circle lines, which looks a little bit like a textured carpet floor tile type thing, which I think works with this area quite nicely. Next, I'm going to select my two meeting rooms. Now, often with meeting rooms and boardrooms, I might put more of a feature pattern on them to make them stand out a little bit. But because we've already got a bit of different stuff going on here, I'm actually just going to use the same circle line pattern. Now you can see it still looks a little bit too intense, so we're going to select all three shapes by holding down that Shift key again. And then I'm going to go to my Appearance panel. And then in opacity, I'm just going to bump that down to 20%. And you can see that works a little bit more harmoniously with the rest of the plan. So that's it for this week's 2-minute tip. If there's anything you'd like to learn in these tips or you have a question, leave a comment below. I'm always happy to take requests and answer any queries you might have.